Oh,
Ready.
all right, so welcome to all the candidates on the call and to any members who are watching this video replay later. I'm Joe Adana. I'm the Rocky Mountain SABR Chapter Secretary and Election Commissioner. And it seems like the past 2 years have flown right by, and here we are at another board election. All the nominations have been submitted. We have a final list of candidates. And in past elections, we usually kick things off at a candidate forum where each candidate will have 2 to 3 minutes to present their case for consideration for your vote. And remember, I'm timing you guys, try to keep within 3 minutes. So with that, we'll start off with the at-large positions. We have 6 candidates for 3 open positions. And let's start off with Mr. Michael Roberts.
Thanks, Joe, and thanks for nominating me. I'll just give a quick background on who I am and uh, my relationship with Saber. Um, my dad was a high school math teacher and a college football or a high school football coach for quite a few years. When I was born in the early years, we moved around a lot, so I had a sports influence right from the beginning. At age 6, we settled in Casper, Wyoming. That's where I grew up. Played Little League, played a lot of baseball into my 20s in various organizations around central Wyoming. Played softball as an adult up until even this summer. Played in an old man softball league, so I'm still doing that. We also played a lot of vintage baseball. There's an organization called the Colorado Vintage Baseball Association. I was with them for about 20 years. We even had a SABR team back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Chip Atkinson was part of that. And a lot of other guys that were in the chapter back then participated. Um, and with that organization, I was on the board for a few years. I was treasurer for a few years. While I was treasurer, I participated in presentation with the state of Colorado and helped us obtain a grant from Colorado, from the state for doing living history. So had a little bit of experience on these nonprofit boards. Um, my education and profession, I got a bachelor's in business from CU in the 80s, followed that up with an MBA, emphasis in finance. Most of my career was as an accountant, financial accountant. People always think when you're an accountant, you do tax. I never did taxes, financial accounting and reporting in Corporateville, mostly with Stars Entertainment, the TV station. I still do a little bit of contract accounting on occasion, but my schedule's freed up a lot. So I'm trying to be a little bit more active with Rocky Mountain Saber. I joined Saber back in the 80s when I still had dark hair and was a young guy. But I haven't always been that involved due to family and work pressures, but tried to get back into it.
Michael,
Uh,
30 seconds.
okay, well, that's really about it. Again, thanks for nominating me. Oh, real quick, one last thing. I contributed 3 articles to this publication. Came out 25-year celebration of the Rockies. Paul Parker was involved in this, and I've got 3 articles in there. So that's kind of my Saber story. Thanks again. Appreciate it, Joe.
Thank you. Next up is Alex Weinheimer.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Weinheimer, and I grew up in Colorado with the Blake Street Bombers as my first favorite players. I remain a Rockies fan today, still attending about 25 home games a year. I also enjoy reading and researching about baseball history, especially its ballparks. Like some other members, I've been to all 30 MLB stadiums. I especially love postseason baseball and have attended postseason games in over 20 ballparks. My wife and I are also making our way across Japan and have attended NPB games at 9 of the 12 stadiums there. Shortly after college, I was living in Houston, where I got involved in the preservation and repurposing of the historic Astrodome. An Astrodome initiative I created to shine a new light on the significance of the building gained considerable attraction. I was able to fundraise hundreds of thousands of dollars of both public and philanthropic money while working closely with elected officials. The effort spurred the formation of the Astrodome Conservancy nonprofit in 2016, a group which successfully secured landmark status for the Astrodome the following year. More recently, I've researched how cities gain and lose franchises and when and how they build new stadiums. Professionally, I work as an urban planner, so I'm always interested in how civics and baseball overlap, especially as a baseball fan. The Dodgers leaving Brooklyn has been well covered, other teams and stadiums much less so. My research has focused on local financing, civic boosters, sponsorships, and other forces, including the growth of the NFL and its impacts on baseball. I appreciate the nomination for an at-large board position and think I would bring valuable experience and perspective. I'm a very civically engaged person and I have years of experience serving on various boards and committees. I work well with others, and as a relatively new chapter member, I'd be a good listener and learn from those with more experience. As a board member, I'd have the following three priorities. First, attend events, whether they are online or in person. The chapter gatherings are the best way for us to learn from one another and share our interest in the game. This year, I've attended SABR Day, card meetings, online events, and every luncheon. As a board member, I would continue to be a regular at these wonderful events and support efforts to keep them fresh and engaging. Second, identify new events and expand membership. I'd love to continue trying new events in the evening and on weekends to engage our less involved members and attract new members, including younger people. Third and finally, support chapter research. I got more engaged in this chapter as I began doing more research of my own. I'd love to encourage, support, and collaborate more on research efforts like the Rocky Mountain Goats Project, Kurt's presentation on Smoky Joe Wood, and maybe something that captures the group's knowledge and enthusiasm for the Denver Bears. I appreciate everyone's time tonight and I would be grateful for your vote. Thanks.
Thank you, Alex. What was your favorite of the 30 stadiums?
Fenway's the most special to visit, I think,
Okay.
but
Well,
of them all.
Mr. Greg Petty, you're up next.
Hey, thanks, Joe. And look, all the people that are running would be good votes. So I think, there are no wrong votes in this group. Alex, I didn't know much about you, and I'm impressed at what you bring to this. I think I know the other folks, and they also bring great stuff. Uh, I joined the board 8 years ago. I felt it was such an honor. Uh, at that time, it was a very kind of stagnant board, and there has been a massive turnover since then. So Kurt Wells has been on there for like, hey, Kurt, 100 years. And I've been on there 8 years, and then Chris Moyer has been on there 4 years. Everybody else is 2 years or less. I do think a little sense of history is good, even though when I joined, I felt like the old guard was way too prominent. Uh, I joined, and a couple of years after that, uh, I'm sorry, COVID hit. Kurt Wells and I, Paul Parker, who was president, he didn't embrace video, but Kurt Wells and I kept the chapter together, in my opinion, with programs every month for a couple of years. And in fact, 2 years, Paul had created this amazing consecutive string, which we are second or third in the nation. And twice, um, one time we didn't have a place because Kurt and Dan couldn't find a place. Got to the 5 days before the end of the month, and I found choppers and we met, which saved our streak. And then later on, I had an online meeting which included Ocean Lifelong Learning Institute with EU on October 31st, which was a World Series date, but guess what? Rained out. And we had Jason Schwartz doing a baseball card meeting. That inspired me to create the baseball card group. I brought in Ryan Werner, and Ryan probably has, and Jamie, you might know this. And also, I think your son is there, but I don't see him right now. Uh, the premier baseball card group in America, and that's due to Ryan or Brian Werner. But I was the guy that created it almost in spite of our president. Uh, I've also worked to do Baseball Memories Project for people with memory impaired issues. I brought Sam McDowell into a video program for us. And let's go to more recently. I have some vision that we need a project. A current board member, Ken Reed, and I are supporting baseball for women.
Greg, 30 seconds.
Thank you, Joe. And Ken Idelson emailed me yesterday about this project. Ken Idelson has been head of the Hall of Fame for 27 years. I mean, he's not right now, but in 2 terms, he's been the head. And I hope that'll be a project. And I continue to care about people with dementia and mentally impaired for baseball memories.
Thanks very much, Greg. It was wonderful. Mr. Peter Myers, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Peter Myers. I'm a pretty recent member of the Rocky Mountain chapter of SABR. I was moved from San Antonio permanently last year, and I am involved heavily with the Baseball Memories program. I was in the Rogers Hornsby chapter down there, and we met every month at an Alzheimer's daycare facility. And since I've been in Denver, we have gotten the Baseball Memories program on a regular basis to go monthly to a place called Seniors Resource Center. And we have about 20 to 25 people in attendance who have some form of dementia or Alzheimer's. And that's really what's dear and near to my heart. We do a year in the life of baseball, the last 3 sessions, 1964, 1969, and 1975. This upcoming session that we're going to do in October is going to have a Halloween theme, one based on taking a look at baseball players' names, such as starting pitchers like Candy Cummings or Frank Hershey or Kendall Graveman. First baseman could be Trick McSorley. In center field, we have Coco Crisp. And then we have names of candy bars that were named after ball players. This is, I've had other people who have helped me out do this, and I'm also looking as a SABR member or as an at-large member to expand this program to other facilities. In fact, today I was in touch with Eli Barnett of the Seniors Resource Center, and he is looking into, with me, other places that we can go to on a monthly basis. I'm looking at 2 to 3 times a month, having other individuals involved. I'm also an usher at the at Coors Field, and I have a number of friends who have expressed some interest in SABR, and I would like to bring them on board. I work at Gate C, and I've also volunteered at the Baseball Park Museum with Bruce Hellerstein, and I'm involved with that organization too. I have 35 years of teaching history, primarily American history, down in San Antonio, integrating baseball within as much as I could in the course. And I've been, blessed with so many people who are friends and family that have such a love of baseball. And I would feel that I would be a good member as an at-large member on the board. Thank you.
That was great, Peter. Thank you. Oh, and you had 30 seconds left over too. Before we go on to John, I could just ask if anyone is not speaking, just please mute your microphone so we don't get any feedback. All right, finally up for the at-large folks is our current president, Mr. John Salvino.
Thanks, Joe. So I'm John Salvino. I'm currently serving as the Rocky Mountain SABR board president, and that's been my experience on the board just for the past 2 years. Think back to 2 years, it was new for me to look into taking on a role like this, and we had a really great group of people that included some of the people on this call, some people with experience and some people new. I think I just like to take the time to point out a couple things that collaboratively we as a group did. I chose not to run for president again just because of, I guess you could say, like, life, just priorities that changing just slightly. So I didn't choose to run for president, but I definitely want to stay involved. Definitely want to be on the board again and continue some of the things that we started, but also support new ideas that people have. And, we'll see how it goes, but, it's exciting to think of a a slightly different mix of people with different shift in leadership, taking the reins and hopefully building on the things that we've done over the past couple of years. I think back 2 years, in our first board meeting we created an award for honoring Herb Shankman. We had to right away, Todd Helton was voted in the Hall of Fame, and we had a watch party we put together for that. We had to do SABR Day all within the first 3 months. We came together, worked together, and made those things happen. I think they were all very successful, and I hope people who were able to attend appreciated them. There was, work done on the finances, the baseball card committee, the organization of that started before I was involved, but we continued it in big part to some folks on this call, and it's been a lot of fun being involved in things like that. Major League Baseball Memories program was established. Again, these are efforts of lots of different people making them happen that I was just fortunate enough to be part of, and really honored to be able to serve as a president and see these things happen. The Baseball Memories program turned into a single event, which was called Major League Memories, where we partnered with the Colorado Rockies and the Alzheimer's Association for an event. The research committee for the Colorado-born players. We continued the lunch meetings. We had to find a new location. We kind of overcame a little bit of a challenge there. The newsletter that Joe is responsible really for making that happen and making it such a great great document every time it goes out. So being part of this has been great. I hope people who are watching this feel comfortable to try and contribute, whether you're on the board or not, to some of these things that are going on, and bring ideas. Get involved. We've got, I think, members in 5 different states. So starting a virtual meetings, getting our own Zoom account, starting the Slack channel and our own Zoom channel where we could do these things. Hopefully gave a little bit more expansive reach to some of the members who can't attend the in-person events when they're held in Denver. We did meet up last summer for a baseball game. Colorado, the Boulder Collegians, and we didn't get an official event together, but just yesterday, I was really lucky to get to see 7 other SABR members at the game, and enjoyed that a lot. So hopefully just continue to build on what we've done, and just be part of it, because it's all fun. I love the national conventions. I've been to 3 of those. I encourage people to go to those, participate in any way that you're comfortable in. And if you just want to observe and take advantage of everything that SABR has to offer, that's perfectly fine too. So just a thanks to everyone on the call for accepting the nominations and for being here today. And, big thanks to everyone on the board for making just a really wonderful experience for me personally for the past couple of years.
Thanks.
So that's it. Yeah.
Very well said. We have one more nominee for at-large, Karen Bench. She could not make the call. Like I said, I will get her offline tomorrow and do a one-on-one recording of hers, which I'll splice to this before it's sent out. Let's move on to the secretary. So we only have one candidate running for secretary. We still want to hear what you have to say. And Kerry, let me tell you, you have some pretty big shoes to fill if you're going to move into the role of secretary. So why don't you let us know exactly how you plan on doing it?
You just stole a line from my. You stole a line from my presentation.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm Kerry Gleason. I've been a member of SABR since 2020. I came to some Rocky Mountain meetings before that. I'm an author and screenwriter with quite a bit of experience in sports writing. I have more than 35 years of experience in public relations, from small locally owned businesses and restaurants to several of the world's most memorable campaigns. I worked with Wendy's, Johnson & Johnson, the International Olympic Committee, one of the America's Cup syndicates, the AT&T pitch hit and run contest, and then recently with Bruce Hellerstein at the National Ballpark Museum. I've served on other boards in the past, including a regional board for the ALS Association, a building trade association, and currently I'm on the board for the Horse Protection League, which is an equine rescue organization. SABR's been very important to me over the last several years. I've made many fantastic friends. Some of you are on screen right now. I've been very fortunate to take advantage of some of the resources available to the membership. Just last week, I finished the first draft of a book I'm writing. It's a biography of John McGraw and Huey Jennings, who are both Hall of Famers, both St. Bonaventure alumnus, and I'm currently continuing to use SABR resources to work to get that published. It would be a privilege to serve on the board. I bring a lot of passion, creativity, and the ability to get things done. We all love baseball, and I hope that we can have some fun, attract some new members, and just enjoy America's pastime.
Very well said, Kerry. Thank you very much. So we have two nominees for treasurer, which is up next. So one of them, Mr. Greg May, could not make the call tonight, but I see Chris Moyer has joined. So Chris, what do you got for us?
Hello there, everyone, from Colorado Springs. I'm back, I guess, for another term here to try and see if I can continue on as treasurer. We recently had to work with our national chapter to try and get a new account straightened out on that. We've got that all transferred over, and hopefully we'll be able to work out some things to help out our different members here with their winnings, or I mean, whether it's winnings or helping with the accounts, different things to help things going as we're helping with different projects that we've got going on in SABR. Hopefully I'll be able to help everybody and continue working as treasurer, and we'll see if we can continue building success for the Rocky Mountain chapter.
Thank you very much, Chris. All right, so I don't see Greg May or Karen on, and the next up would be for VP, but that would be Kurt Wells, who is right now en route back from wherever he was. Well, he had quite a journey. He went to Memphis and Nashville and wherever, so he's on the road, and he's not going to be back till tomorrow. So I guess that brings us to the role of president, where I'm running unopposed because no one dared challenge me. No, seriously. First off, I do want to call out and stress what an exemplary job that John Salvino did in his time as president. And while I'm sorry to hear of his decision not to run again, I could certainly understand and appreciate his decision. He's a single father of twin teenage boys. He has a job that takes up a lot of his time, so there's a lot on his plate. But I am very, very happy he's decided to run for one of the at-large positions. His contributions have been valuable, and he's done a fantastic job, and we truly appreciate your time, John. As far as me, I served as chapter secretary for the last 2 years, and hopefully the board could attest to some of the good work I've done. I've led the implementation of our website, our newsletter, the Slack workspace for collaboration, and I handle chapter communications, and I mean, I may be leaving one or two things out. I don't know, but I do it because I really enjoy doing it. I love working with the people. I love baseball, and I'm hopeful that I could step in and continue to add value in the role of president. I think that in order for us to provide the best value and best experience for our members, our board needs to have people who have the time, the desire, and the ability to make that happen. And I do believe that all the candidates we have meet these criteria. And I'm thinking there's a lot we can do going forward, starting next year to make it a great experience for everyone. Activities, events, new groups, community involvement, so forth. And I am truly looking forward to working with the new board to make that happen. Thank you. All right. So before we wrap up, does any other candidate have anything else you want to say or add? Okay. So by September 24th, to the folks looking at this video, the day after tomorrow, we're going to mail out a link to an online ballot, and all votes are anonymous, and you're only able to vote once. So no stuff in the old ballot box like they did for the Cincinnati Reds back in the 61 All-Star game. You can't do that. Voting will continue through October 16th. On the morning of the 17th, I will be made aware of who won. SABR headquarters controls all the votes. So Jake from SABR headquarters will give me the results of the election, and I will immediately release them out to all of, I guess initially I'll release them to the winning candidates, and then later that day to all the chapter members. And whoever wins the election, their term begins on January 1st. One more thing for the folks who are going to be voting, in addition to voting for these candidates, there are also a few optional free-form questions on the ballot meant to provide us with feedback on how we could give you a better experience. So please, if you don't have to reply to those, but that would help if you could. All right. If nothing else, thank you very much, and good luck to all the candidates.